picture this. You are sitting on a sleek, ultra-modern, high-speed train.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, right. The landscape outside the window is just an absolute blur, like you're moving at an incredible speed.
Right.
And then the realization hits. The brakes are gone. The train is just a runaway bullet.
I mean, that is literally the ultimate claustrophobic nightmare.
Exactly. But here is the kicker about the 2026 movie Speed Demon. The impending crash. The metal twisting, the derailment, all that sheer physics of the disaster.
Yeah.
That is actually not the real danger.
Wait, really?
Yeah. The real danger is the ancient demon that is already on board.
Right, so the environment is like a weapon, but the threat is totally supernatural.
Exactly. So welcome to today's deep dive. You sent us a fascinating stack of sources for this one. I mean, the original script, the director's story notes, and those really dense lore Bibles for Speed Demon.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of material there.
There really is.
Yeah.
And our mission today isn't just to recap a horror movie. We are going to unpack the underlying psychology of fear, the mechanics of belief in this universe, and why the fate of every panicked passenger on this train rests on a single, highly unlikely savior.
A nun.
A nun. One who has entirely lost her faith. Okay, let's unpack this, because before we can even begin to understand the physical danger tearing down these tracks, we really need to understand the absolute psychological vulnerability of the person trapped inside it.
Well, the script notes are incredibly detailed about her internal state. I mean, we are introduced to this nun, and the director specifically highlights that she is not, the stereotypical, unshakable pillar of spiritual strength.
Right, she's not some superhero.
Exactly. She is quiet, she is profoundly distant, and she's traveling alone.
Yeah.
She is physically present in this crowded passenger car, but psychologically, she is just miles away, completely walled off by her own past trauma.
It's like, imagine you were called in to disarm a highly complex ticking time bomb. The room is locked, the timer is counting down, and you look at the wires, and you suddenly realize you have completely forgotten how to read the manual.
Oh, wow.
You don't know what the red wire does, you don't know what the blue wire does, you're just frozen.
That is terrifying.
Yeah.
And, to build on that bomb analogy, imagine that while you are desperately trying to remember the manual, the entity you are facing is actively rewiring the bomb in real time.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and it's feeding on your rising panic. That lack of conviction isn't just like a personal failing for her character.
Right.
According to the lore Bible you provided, it is an active vulnerability. Demons in this universe operate almost like predatory animals that can smell spiritual rot.
They're drawn to it.
Exactly. They're drawn to open wounds.
Which brings us to how the horror actually begins. And it is remarkably subtle for a movie called Speed Demon.
It really is.
Like, the opening act gives us just another passenger train. Commuters, travelers, people reading, looking at their phones.
Just normal life.
It's just normal life until things start feeling, well, off.
Yeah, the director uses the physical space to mirror the spiritual invasion in a really cool way.
How so?
Well, the ambient noise of the train starts to drop out in the sound mix.
Oh, that's creepy.
Right. The air gets a little too still. The silence between conversations feels heavy. The script actually describes it as a localized pressure drop.
Wow. And then we get the guy sitting a few rows down.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, he is just staring. Not looking around, just staring.
Unblinking.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's not blinking. For a long, unnerving amount of time, he is just intensely watching everyone else on the train.
It's so unsettling.
You know that feeling when you're in a public space and you just know someone is looking at you, but their energy is entirely wrong?
Oh, absolutely. It violates the unspoken social contract of a shared public space.
Exactly.
We rely on mutual ignorance in places like subways or trains, right?
Yeah.
We pretend we are alone together.
Yeah, we just put our headphones on.
Right. So when someone breaches that by staring, it triggers this, primal alarm.
And then the snap.
Yeah.
He violently, completely snaps. The subtlety vanishes in a split second. He becomes wildly unpredictable.
Just 0 to 100.
Yeah, his movements, his aggression, the way his joints seem to lock and pop it, all becomes utterly inhuman.
What's fascinating here is how the narrative brilliantly shifts the core nature of the fear in that exact moment.
How do you mean?
Well, at first, the passengers, and by extension the audience, are operating under the assumption of a mundane threat.
Like a medical issue or something.
Exactly. A disturbed individual.
A
medical emergency, a public breakdown, we have mental frameworks to process those things.
Right.
We know how to react to a guy yelling on the subway. We look away. We alert a conductor. We apply logic.
We fall back on our modern safety net.
Yes, exactly.
But the film yanks that comforting, rational framework away. When the behavior crosses the line from disturbed to definitively inhuman, the fear transforms.
It really does.
You provided the storyboard sketches, and you can see the visual shift from a medical crisis to an undeniable realization of actual possession.
It's visceral.
You are locked in a cage with a monster, and the cage is rocketing toward a brick wall.
And the modern world, the sleek technological marvel of this high-speed bullet train, is suddenly completely useless against an ancient chaotic force.
Completely useless.
The technology cannot save them.
Right. The environment itself is weaponizing against them, escalating what is already a bad situation into a completely impossible one, but this is where things take a dark turn.
Yeah, because the mechanical reality sets in.
The terrifying, unavoidable mechanical stakes are revealed. The train cannot stop.
It's a runaway.
It is a runaway. It is moving at an absolutely lethal speed. And the realization just rips through the passenger cars towards panic erupts.
I can't even imagine.
People are looking at the digital speed displays, they're looking out the windows at the blurring landscape, and they realize they are entirely trapped.
There's no way out.
There's no emergency brake that works.
Yeah.
There are no doors that will open safely. They literally have nowhere to go.
And then the possessed passenger, in the midst of all this mechanical chaos, finally speaks.
Oh, that voice.
Right. It is not the human passenger's voice. The sound design notes describe it as an acoustic impossibility.
But
It's like a voice layering multiple frequencies, sounding ancient, unnatural, and deeply wrong. And the entity makes its true intention brutally clear.
it's not just there to mess around.
No, it doesn't just want to terrorize the people in that single car. It doesn't just want to kill a few passengers.
It wants the crash.
Yes.
It wants to drive the train into the ground and destroy absolutely everyone on board. It is orchestrating a mass casualty event.
The demon is effectively using the train as a massive kinetic weapon.
Wait, let me push back on that for a second.
Sure.
Why a train? Like, if you are an ancient, powerful, demonic entity, wouldn't you want to possess a world leader
Oh, I see what you mean.
or a military general? Why go to all the trouble of possessing a random commuter just to cause a mechanical train crash in the middle of nowhere?
That's a great point. And the lore notes actually clarify this beautifully.
Go do.
Yeah. Demons in this specific mythological framework don't operate on political logic. They operate on emotional economics.
Emotional economics. I like that.
Right. They don't just want physical death. They want spiritual despair.
Uh,
A sudden, painless catastrophe doesn't yield the same dark harvest as, 20 minutes of agonizing, inescapable, mounting terror in a confined space.
so they want the anticipation of the crash.
Exactly. The entity is using the physical reality of the speeding train as an instrument to generate absolute despair. It is a pressure cooker.
Wow.
And it is doing this specifically because it knows the nun is on board.
It knows she is broken.
Yes, she is the actual target.
The whole train is just for her.
The train crash is just the stage production. The demon knows she's spiritually bleeding, and it wants her to sit there and watch this mass drama happen, knowing she is powerless to stop it.
That is so twisted.
It wants to crush whatever tiny remnant of faith she might have left by showing her the ultimate triumph of cruelty.
And the stakes just keep rising.
Yeah, they do.
The speed of the train increases. The entire structure of the cars becomes unstable. Like, you can hear the metal groaning.
The sound design is intense there.
The Doppler effect of the train tearing through the countryside is just deafening. Passengers are screaming. They're desperately trying to smash the reinforced glass.
Trying to physically break the doors down with fire extinguishers.
Yes, and the demon is actively enjoying it, smiling, pushing the fear deeper and deeper into the crowd, fragmenting their minds. Just absolute chaos.
And all that kinetic energy, all that external chaos, it forces the narrative to zoom right back into the most quiet internal space possible.
The nun's mind.
Exactly. With the physical countdown ticking toward complete destruction, the ultimate battle actually has to be won in her head first.
Because she is breaking inside.
She really is.
She is watching this demon rip these people apart psychologically, and she knows exactly what is happening. She recognizes the signs of possession.
Right.
She knows what is required to stop it. But she has two massive, insurmountable problems.
Well, first, she has never actually performed an exorcism in her life.
Right.
She knows the academic theory from her early training, but she has absolutely no practical experience.
And second, which is infinitely worse, she doesn't believe a word of it anymore.
Yeah.
She is spiritually paralyzed, just completely frozen.
We get this incredibly critical character moment where she just stops.
Yeah, she freezes.
The train is shaking, people are screaming, and she almost gives up before she even tries. She is paralyzed by a very specific, deeply painful memory.
Right. The script flashes back to the event that caused her to lose her faith in the first place.
The trauma that hollowed her out. It is the moment she decided the universe was empty and cruel, and that no higher power was coming to save anyone.
And now she is looking at a genuine, undeniable manifestation of evil right in front of her. But instead of sparking her faith and making her think, oh, demons are real, therefore God must be real, it is just confirming all of her worst fears about the darkness of the world.
Wow, yeah.
She is seeing proof of the devil, but absolutely no proof of salvation.
This raises an important question. Can you fight a spiritual battle if your own spirit is broken?
That's the core of it, isn't it?
It is. Can you wield faith as a weapon when your own reservoir of belief is completely dry?
Right.
According to the rules established in the film's universe, an exorcist must have absolute ironclad faith to command a demon. It operates on sheer will and spiritual authority.
And if they have doubt.
If the demon detects even a sliver of doubt, they exploit it. They turn your own psychological weaknesses into physical weapons against you.
And she is 100% doubt right now.
100%.
She is at the absolute bottom of her emotional and spiritual barrel. And what happens next changes everything.
It really does. The script subverts our expectations of a traditional redemption arc entirely.
Totally.
Yeah.
Because we expect the glowing light. We expect her to close her eyes, remember a Bible verse, and suddenly experience this magical, overwhelming return of perfect, pristine belief.
The classic Hollywood moment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We expect the swelling orchestral music where she suddenly becomes incredibly strong, fearless, and spiritually healed.
But the director's notes are explicit here. No magical healing.
None. She is still terrified. She is still filled with doubt. Her hands are shaking.
Yeah.
But she looks around at the terrified passengers, the people clawing at the windows, the people who are about to die, and she makes a choice.
She doesn't find perfect faith.
No. She just finds enough resolve to stand up. Just enough to put herself between the monster and the victims.
That is the crux of the entire narrative right there.
It is.
The thematic core of this story is asserting that courage and even spiritual warfare isn't about having perfect faith or zero doubt.
It's about choosing to fight anyway.
Exactly. It is about standing up in the face of absolute evil, even when your own foundation is cracked and crumbling. It is the concept of action preceding belief. She doesn't wait to feel the faith before acting. She acts hoping the faith will follow.
The internal decision is made. And that decision propels us directly into the climax.
The showdown.
The explosive, incredibly violent physical confrontation between this deeply flawed nun and this ancient demon.
And the setting for this confrontation could not be more intense.
Oh, it's wild.
The collision of the mechanical runaway train and the supernatural presence creates a completely unique battleground.
It feels so incredibly dangerous. The lights inside the train car are flickering wildly, plunging them into darkness and then strobing back on.
Yeah.
The train itself is violently shaking. It is practically derailing. Sparks are flying outside the windows, illuminating the dark countryside in flashes.
The screech of the metal on the tracks is deafening.
And the terrified passengers are just huddled in the corners watching this impossible showdown.
Then the nun steps forward and she starts the rites.
Yeah.
But her voice starts off so shaky, you can hear the tremor, the hesitation. She is audibly terrified.
And the demon senses the weakness immediately.
Oh, yeah.
It fights back incredibly hard. It doesn't cower just because she started praying. It screams at her.
It's aggressive.
Very. The possessed passenger's body is physically distorting in sickening ways, defying anatomical limits. The demon is actively, aggressively trying to break her will.
The story notes describe the demon weaponizing her trauma.
Oh, that's brutal.
It is throwing her past in her face, projecting her deepest insecurities, using the voices of people she failed in the past.
Just trying to break her down?
Right. It is doing everything it can to make her sit back down, to make her accept that she is too weak to save anyone.
Yeah.
It is a war of attrition against a woman who is already spiritually exhausted.
But as the screaming gets louder, as the train shakes harder, Her voice gradually grows stronger.
It does.
The shaky cadence smooths out. The volume rises. She is planting her feet on a floor that is literally vibrating apart, holding the line.
Just when it looks like she is going to fail, when the physical toll seems too much and the train is seconds away from a catastrophic derailment at a sharp curve ahead,
Yeah.
she musters one final, truly desperate effort. She pushes through the sheer chaos of the environment, ignoring the screeching metal and the psychological attacks.
She throws everything she has left into one final, commanding exertion of will.
And then,
Yeah.
the contrast is just jarring. The loud, deafening, metallic, and demonic chaos it stalks. Total silence.
The sudden vacuum in the soundscape.
Yeah.
The train noticeably slows down. The emergency systems suddenly engage. The violent shaking ceases.
Visible.
The flickering lights stabilize into a harsh, steady, fluorescent hum. And that heavy, oppressive, demonic presence, it just vanishes entirely.
Like a dark cloud suddenly evaporating.
Exactly.
The immediate aftermath of that climax is incredibly well executed.
It really is.
You have this massive buildup of kinetic and spiritual energy, and then just an exhale.
An exhale. Perfect way to describe it.
The physics of the real world reassert themselves. The train decelerates normally.
The scene finally settles.
Yeah.
And you look at the passengers. They are in total shock.
Completely shell-shocked.
They're completely unable to process what they just witnessed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how do you go back to normal life after seeing the laws of physics and the boundaries of reality broken right in front of you on your Tuesday commute?
You don't. You are forever changed by it. The social contract is permanently rewritten for those survivors.
Right.
But the most important change is in the nun herself. If we connect this to the bigger picture, her final state is profoundly poignant.
She is still standing in the middle of the aisle. The demon is gone. The train is slowing to a halt. But, look at her. She isn't growing.
No.
She isn't magically healed from her past trauma. The scars of her life are still there.
Yeah.
The pain didn't just wash away because she won this battle.
Right. She didn't hit a reset button on her psyche. The trauma of her past remains a part of her architecture. But she is fundamentally different. Because while she isn't fully healed, she is no longer broken.
That's a great distinction.
She discovered that her shattered pieces still had sharp edges.
Oh, I like that.
She realized that she still had the capacity to act, to protect, and to fight back against the darkness, even without the absolute certainty she used to rely on.
And that is exactly why Speed Demon hits so incredibly hard.
It really does.
Yes, on the surface, it's a terrifying thriller about a runaway train.
Yeah.
But at its core, it's about fighting even when you were totally unprepared.
Exactly.
It's about standing your ground when you are definitively not fearless. It feels so raw and so incredibly real because, we all have those moments where we feel utterly inadequate for the task in front of us.
It strips away the myth of the perfect hero.
Yeah.
It tells us that bravery isn't the absence of doubt. Bravery is taking action while the doubt is screaming in your ear.
Wow.
It is finding purpose not in your strength, but in your refusal to surrender to the despair.
It really is. So as we wrap up this deep dive, think about that the next time you are feeling overwhelmed by your own circumstances.
Yeah.
If you are trapped in a seemingly impossible, terrifying situation, with the world speeding out of control around you,
Right.
and you had absolutely nothing but your own doubts and past failures to keep you company, would you be able to find that tiny, fragile sliver of resolve? Would you find enough inside yourself to stand up?